Working title FC back like a Mohamed Salah hairline.
Hey, bro.
That thing is a miraculous recovery.
My man, he's actually got a haircut that I can get behind him. Also, he's playing like his haircut.
He is, eh?
He's playing like his haircut.
Fucking.
You look good, you feel good, you do good.
Way more forward.
Yeah.
You know, his hairline was like his hairline's, just above his eyebrows,
him,
man.
LeBron James, Wayne Rooney, Jacques Callis, they all have a guy, bro.
Rooney got fucked, though. Rooney's doesn't stay.
Yeah.
He gets his wife to keep coming back, but his hair, I don't know, his hair's not as...
like his wife, as resilient as his wife.
as loyal.
As his wife.
But that Mohamed Salah hairline is fucking giving me... That's life goals. Do we still say life goals?
Of course it's life goals, bro.
I think that's
bro,
what you
if you have people... You know what the thing is, like, with hair? Like, if you don't have any, like, guys, just let go. If you've got, like, use it. But, like, I hate people who, like... You see Bobby Charlton, even while he was playing, like, bro, you don't want the Bobby Charlton situation. There are only certain people who can rock that. Zidane can rock it, and he owned it.
He did, but he also let it go very early on.
Yeah.
Andre Agassi had the whole wig situation happening,
then
a hair system.
And then you saw.
Someone you and I both know has been offered a hair transplant.
They're going to take it off.
A hair system for free.
And
he's a bit of an influencer, and he's been offered. They said we're going to give you hair for free. So he's undergoing the various stages of treatment. I'm too far gone. There's fuck all they can do for me.
But also, you'd look strange with hair.
You know what? I think it's an equalizer because if I had hair, I'd have too much going on for me. it would just be unfair.
Jeez, like, yeah, no, man. Hey, you have to give others a chance, eh?
So coming up, working title FC, we got 5-a-side plus Goat Farm, where I do something different on Goat Farm, but
I'm keen. I'm keen for it. I'm here for it.
I think you're going to love it. We also have Senzo's non-football story of the week. So let's start on Mohamed Salah. Right, I just want to have like a cheap stab. It's not a cheap stab. I mean, the guy's got fantastic hair. What are we going to do?
Yeah,
that fantastic
and
hair.
Also, like, I like that he changed his guy. The guy who cuts his hair. Like, he probably went to Trent and he goes, "Dude, where do you go? I must go to your guy, bro."
because the guy who was doing his hair before was probably lying to him, was enabling him, and he's going like, "Does it look bad?" No one's even noticing.
No one's noticing, Mohammed.
No one's even noticing.
And then
you
Trent
look
got
fantastic.
rid of his locks and he had like nice hair and he said, "Trent, I want to go where you go." Like,
no, he's like, "Fuck my guy." Bro, do you think he went to Klopp's guy? Because Klopp also got a
probably. Klopp said, "Listen, here's my parting gift to you." But bro, do you know on a real note? Do you know when you go cheat on your barber, bro? It's not. You don't feel good, bro.
This I don't know.
Bro, to cheat on your barber is a big thing, eh?
Really?
And you cheat on your barber, and the guy that you go and you cheat with, he messes you up worse, and your barber goes, "Oh, so now you're back." Yeah.
And I'm sure your barber knows.
Of course,
it's about time for you to come.
No,
and you're not coming.
He's like, "I was waiting for you." I was waiting for you.
That's deep. I didn't even think about that.
No, it's cheating, bro. You must. There are many sacred relationships in a man's life, and your relationship with your barber, bro, because your barber's he holds a lot of power.
He does, though.
You must find a barber that's got hands like a surgeon.
Okay, yes, steady.
Steady, like.
Yeah.
Because, bro, I know, like, if a guy F's up your hairline, it's very hard.
I think the hairline's the big thing.
My man.
I believe that's a big thing.
My man, your hairline is, if a guy messes up your hairline, bro, you'll never trust that guy with anything. You know he's an agent.
So we have a bit of a thing going here because you got a Mohamed Salah hairline, I've got an Arnie Slot hairline. Salah is in the fucking form of. I mean,
I see the form of his life, but now he's assisting now as well.
Yeah.
He's like it happens around him at Liverpool,
and he's playing more dynamically. Already scored 13 goals.
Yeah,
okay. And adapted his game because he goes, "Listen, I'm not the guy who is flying." And you know, the other thing I think we forget about Salah is,
but he's still quick though.
What a late start he actually had.
Yeah, he did
because he was bouncing around at Basel, then
Chelsea.
He went to Roma, Chelsea.
Yeah. So Liverpool bought him because he went to Chelsea, and then Chelsea did him. They said, "Okay, go to Basel," and then from Basel sold him to Roma.
Yeah,
and then Liverpool got him from Roma for like 40 million.
And even
how cheap does 40 million look now, bro?
Now, but here's what I want to talk about: is the dude is flying. He is playing so well. But he is still waiting for a new contract. And I was like, Liverpool, what are you doing?
Do you know how much he's asking for, though?
But, okay, how much is he asking for?
He's like asking about like in the region of like 400 to 450.
Okay, so listen.
I'd give it to him, though.
The thing is, the worst kept secret in world football is the Saudi Pro League fucking won Salah.
Yeah.
The biggest star in the
biggest,
Arab world.
Biggest Arabic star.
Biggest
Islam
in your
star.
League. Like, that's fucking gold
Easily.
dust, right? Like,
Easily. And also look for where he's like, it's a match made in heaven.
Right, so they would, and they're probably throwing double that at him.
Yeah. More, bro. They must be throwing Ronaldo numbers at him.
I mean, Salah is, if he's not one of Liverpool's top scorers, he's definitely in their top goal scorers of all time.
Yeah, he's like top. He's like top two, top three.
Top 2 or 3.
I think only like Rush is ahead of him.
Do we say? I mean, he's got to be in the conversation for one of their best players ever.
100%.
And when you go through that roll
100%.
call, I know we have a lot of recency bias. I think you sometimes forget like Kenny Dalglish and Kevin Keegan and Ian Rush, you know, and Steven Gerrard, you know.
Graham Souness.
God, you know, so it's a hell of a but for him to go, they go, shit, I don't think we're off here, right? Okay, he is 32. Liverpool do have a policy, and you do understand there is a risk. But he's even going, I just want a 1-year extension.
That's what he wants a year, yeah.
Like, give it to the guy, right?
Yeah.
For what he's done to you.
For you.
You know, for you.
Yeah,
you know
what he's done
saying?
for you. I mean...
And I mean, Liverpool, listen, right now, it's their title to throw away.
Yeah,
it
theirs
really
to lose.
is.
It's theirs to lose. Especially, did you see how they dismantled City?
Oh, man, come on. And listen, City aren't what they are, but...
They were going through them, but like, bro...
So you still got to do it. You know, you still got to do it.
100%. Oh, that ball by Salah to Gakpo.
And I mean,
So
it's
smooth.
just not that, just what they did to Real Madrid. You know, Liverpool, we had this thing of going, oh, look at Liverpool's fixtures over the next 6-8 games. And they just walked all of them.
Like,
no problem. And then, and then they go the one that is probably coming out of that going, okay, Newcastle's not easy, but going, okay, like it's a little bit of a calm down.
Yeah.
And you know.
But it's away at St. James's.
Yeah, listen. And
that fixture traditionally, we know what it's all about.
That's always going to be. There's something about that game. There's something about midweek games that are they just hit different, right?
They do slap different.
There's just something different.
We got slapped different as well.
This
but
time
like,
of year.
okay.
So listen, Liverpool, I don't know what you're doing. Give Salah, if you want to...
Give him the bag, guys. Bump the cheese up.
You know, even if it's just to protect themselves, because, you know, they run the risk of losing Salah for nothing.
Free, bro.
Right? So even if they just go, look, let's give him 3 years... The Saudi Pro League will still take him.
Yeah, they will.
They will still take him. You're not going to lose out your money on the goodwill and listen. I mean, we talk about the Premier League. They top of the top of the Champions League table.
And also the thing is, like with the Saudi Pro League, bro, Salah doesn't. You don't hear about Salah. You don't hear about Salah's life outside the.
No, he's model pro,
pure footballer. I play football and that's it.
You know what gets me though? The amount of like photos he posts without his shirt on. That dude is ripped. He has got muscles I've never even seen.
Yeah, bro. But also he doesn't drink, bro.
I bet you even Ronaldo's. Salah's got those 6-packs that bulge out.
Yeah.
You know those guys that got like those 6-packs like a ball.
Yeah.
He's got those. He's got those.
Bro. I mean, I don't drink. Like, I'm an upstanding citizen. Always rains in Liverpool. Like, what am I going to do with these idiots?
What am I doing? Give Salah that thing.
Give him the money. Like. Yeah, also the thing is, also for Liverpool, it's a win-win for them because if the Saudis come knocking, then they indemnify themselves for lack of a better term. Like
that's what I'm saying. Just protect the assets, if nothing else. And also the bigger picture here is Virgil van Dijk is in the last year of his contract and Trent's in the last year of his contract.
But I think they're going to extend Trent.
You can't lose. To lose all three looks like a monumental fuck up.
I think they're going to let go of Virg though.
I think,
or they'll give him 1 more year.
I think. Listen. I thought the dude was cooked 2 years ago.
But
he is, I mean, he's just completely transformed. He's just like, listen, dirty as shit, but anyway, that's fine. That's what happens as you get an older centre back. You learn to get away with it.
Yeah. You learn the tricks of the trade.
I think to just lose all three just looks really bad, especially as you start.
So how do you replace three players of the...
replace those guys? Because that's the thing with Salah. You don't replace him, man.
Bro,
we've seen this movie
Salah's
before with other
generational,
teams.
bro. If you get a Salah once every like 15 years.
Yeah.
You get a Salah once every 15 years if you're lucky enough.
Because the noise is going to get crazy because obviously all three of those can sign pre-contracts with teams outside of the Premier League.
Yes.
So, Real Madrid are going to...
Real Madrid want
They want
hard.
Trent. You know,
Hard,
so it's going to be such unbearable noise at such a pivotal time for them.
Of course.
You know,
of course.
I think they play. I saw some crazy stat. They play like 11 games or something, 8 to 11 games by the middle of Jan.
Yeah.
It's just non-stop up until the FA Cup game.
Yeah.
And now you got to add that noise on top of it. It's like just take away the noise. And it's weird because Liverpool have been so good at doing things over the past few years.
Quietly.
Yeah, they're just very efficient. They just run the club well, no noise, and kind of going, why would you bring this on yourself? Just sign one of them. Trent, I think Trent will go of them. I think Trent will go.
You think they can afford to lose Trent?
Trent, also, you got to look at the dude. The dude's won everything with his hometown club. And he probably goes, listen, I can go upper level. Or not upper level, because I don't think top of the Premier League, you know,
I just want to be
for the title. But
I just want to be winning. I just want to be in the race more consistently.
Maybe something else, you know what I mean? And, but anyway. Don't get the news.
Jude's probably whispering in his ear right now, telling him, "Man, bro, come through.
Come help me out because we got this dude here that we spent the farm on. Well, I didn't spend the farm on, but you and I put Kylian Mbappé on fraud alert.
Yeah.
Are we on fraud alert, fraud watch? Where are we? I think it's full blown.
It's come full circle.
Are we saying full blown fraud with Kylian Mbappé at the moment?
No, I'm not ready to. I'm not ready to. That guy's done too much in such a short space of time to be.
Has he done I ask, has he done everything?
No. He hasn't won a Champions League, my man.
But here's the thing with Mbappé. Here's what I worry. You know, he comes out the trap, 17 years old. Oh my God, what's this guy? This guy's the next
level.
Wins the World Cup young.
18.
Drags his team to another World Cup. Okay.
World Cup final.
Gets handed the keys to a super club.
Yeah.
In the super club in their own backyard.
Yeah.
Kylian Mbappé, what he's doing now, it kind of goes. Yes, it's easy to make it a Real Madrid problem, and rightly so. Real Madrid's just not clicking. Something's just not working there for whatever reason. And teams go through that. But Mbappé, he was like this in the Euro, and if you read, like we didn't watch lots of PSG, but even if we take what we saw in the Champions League, it kind of like he was doing that then.
Yeah.
And you just wonder how long. This isn't a new thing.
Yeah.
Mbappe's kind of been going through this for like 18 months.
Yeah, and 18 months is a while. Eh?
Is there something more going on here? You know, there's players can peak early.
Do you think it's peaking early, or do you think people have figured him? I wouldn't say figured him out because like he can turn it on and off when he wants, but
can he? Because maybe that's what he assumes. You know what? That extra time he stayed at PSG, because remember he was supposed to go before. And then he stayed on. He was ready to go back then. I think he just got it all.
And do you think it cooked his ambition?
I mean, he's got to be ambitious, but I just wonder if he got soft.
But
if he dropped his level too much for too long.
Yeah. My thing is that, okay, now, after he wins the Champions League, what is there really for him?
Well, that's the thing.
After
and listen, there's been better players than him who haven't won the Champions League.
Yeah, bro. R9.
R9.
R9 he never touched Lothar Matthäus.
You know what I mean?
Never touched the Champions League.
So he won't be the first. And listen, I think the one thing that we kind of normalizing back to now is that we got the fascinating thing about Ronaldo and Messi is how good they were for how long.
So long.
It was, I mean, they went from
every year you waited for them. Okay, this has to be the year they come back like with 10 goals all season and stuff, and it never happened.
I mean, I saw something the other day that Ronaldo has scored more goals in his 30s than R9 scored in his career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's 8 years.
That's wild.
You know what I mean? And there's all these records like that. And Messi's the same. And I think we got so used to going, oh, well, he's just going to do this for 10, 12, 15 years.
Yeah.
Where actually you go look at all the players up to, it's been a period of 3 to 5 years.
3 years at
the
best.
Ones who did 5 years were like, wow, that's
sustained.
Zidane was only really at their top for 5 years, and he was a freak.
Yeah. Ronaldinho, 3 years.
Most players were at that level for 3 years.
3 years, like they gave you a hot stuff. Ronaldo, Figo.
You know, all of them. And that's, you know, and Ronaldo and Messi completely. And maybe it's just normal to be spectacular for 5 years and then you just tail off.
But now, do you think now, with what we saw with Ronaldo and Messi, like now we expect it from everybody now that we see?
I think that's it. Because now we expect, Haaland and Mbappé are just going to be the new ones. was like, it's impossible. It was like
it's not sustainable.
It was like a fucking somebody snapped. You know, it was a Thanos snap fucking moment that these two guys arrive at the same time.
And do you know what the thing is? You look at Ronaldo and Messi, and then you think about like guys who were coming third in Ballon d'Or, and they were having phenomenal seasons. You know, when Fernando Torres got to the Premier League, that guy was something else.
He's another one, but for 3 years.
Yeah, Torres was crazy.
He never did it again. Aguero, same thing.
Neymar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Neymar was hot. Like he was proper. Suarez was proper hot. But like, it was Ronaldo, Messi, and everybody else.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Like Vinny Jr. is another one. It goes like...
How long do you think he can sustain it?
Well, if he does 5 years, because I think he's kind of in the middle of this kind of...
this purple patch, yeah.
I think if he does 5 years, because that's normal. Cruyff was another one. Maradona.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maradona played for a long time.
How many guys do you think Messi and Ronaldo robbed of Ballon d'Or?
Let's go. Neymar, Hazard, Lewandowski. I mean, who else?
Xavi, Iniesta, they can say...
Xavi and Iniesta, 100% them.
I think it was Benzema also got robbed.
Benzema got robbed by them. He eventually got one. But,
Gareth Bale? Or was Bale too injury prone?
Yeah, Bale was like, I don't think he was at that level. I think he's just below. But I mean, we named 5 there,
Jesus,
just off the bat.
like prime for prime, and then you just because Eden Hazard used to be my favorite player in the league, and then you just think, okay, Eden Hazard's hot, and then you think, but there's just Messi and Ronaldo.
But Hazard was another one. He also burned 3 years and then goes to Madrid, and kind of like,
what do you think happened at Madrid with him?
I just think it was just natural. I think it's just maybe the level was too high. Maybe the things he was able to get away with at Chelsea. And listen, also, I mean, the Premier League gets better and it is very tactical and the coaches are better. Spain's a different level. Like, players are drilled there. They really understand how to play ball.
Yeah, and it's the
technical side of it. You know what I've always said, and I say it to this day. I will say it to this day. You watch a La Liga match of the bottom two sides versus a Premier League match of the bottom two sides.
A Premier League side of bottom two sides, it's because they fit and they're a bit more rugged and they're harder.
It'll be more exciting because they're up and down. But when you watch it, every player.
Technical.
Every touch is perfect. Every pass is perfect.
Yeah.
The formations are perfect. Everyone knows what they do. The Premier League game, they're fucking gunning each other.
Yeah.
And I put the same on Serie A.
Yeah.
You watch the bottom sides. Technically, the bottom sides are better.
Yeah.
Than the bottom sides in the Premier League. But they fit stronger.
But that's when you see it, like in the the latter stages of Champions League. When an English team beats, like, let's say they beat like a Barcelona or Real Madrid, I think they got lucky because they were off there, bro. Barcelona and Real Madrid, bro. They like the way they do things, like. They pick out passes that you didn't think were possible. Like,
yeah, that's it.
Like, and a defender will just unlock like a pass of death, and you're just like, okay, cool. Like, no one in the Premier League is doing that.
Yeah.
Except like Ruben Diaz.
That's it.
Except like Ruben Diaz, or like it's some freak of nature. So I don't know.
So we stopped giving Mbappé penalties. I think Paulo listened to us. But also, like, it's what I don't like about the whole situation is that, like, the shadow it's putting over Carlo Ancelotti, because it was like the dude doesn't deserve this.
Yeah.
And the pressure he's getting in. Listen, he's also a clever guy. He knows what's going on. Yeah. He goes, these guys are eyeing up Xabi Alonso. They're preparing me for an out here.
Yeah. Like, they're retiring me.
Yeah, he's like, what do I do? Do I jump before they push me?
But what would you do? Would you leave, or like
as Carlo Ancelotti?
Would you leave yourself, or would you wait to be pushed?
Look, I think for him, it's got to be. You know what? You don't fire. Listen, I don't think you fire Ancelotti. I think Real Madrid are going to be okay. Let's be quite frank here.
It's Real Madrid; they'll be fine.
Real Madrid will be more than fine, but maybe it's time. You know, he's done everything. He's done everything he can.
There's nothing more he can do.
It won't surprise me if Real Madrid win the league this year. Barcelona are still, Lamine Yamal. Let me just ask a question there. Does that guy? I'm sure he's been 17 since he came onto the scene, right?
You think his age doesn't change?
I'm sure he's always 17.
Yeah, he'll be 17 next year for 3 years. Next World Cup, he'll be 17 again.
It's that dude is not getting older, right?
Yeah.
And but I mean, you see the difference when he's not playing. what difference it makes. And then I want to talk about Atletico Madrid later, but don't be surprised if Real Madrid just turn the whole thing around and win everything and just do what Real Madrid do.
Yeah.
But if you Carlo Ancelotti, I think it's kind of goes, you know what? It's fine. I've been here twice. I've done it twice.
I've got a question for you. Do you think the teams in La Liga, they care, well, the top two in La Liga, the big two in La Liga, do you think that they care more about Champions League or winning La Liga more?
I think, yeah, geez. I mean, if you look at it, they don't want the other one to win La Liga.
Yeah.
Real Madrid...
Champions League's number one for
Champions League have become theirs. You know, they were obsessed for so long with, I think Champions League's theirs.
It's Champions League or bust, yeah.
I think, for them, I think their ideal is like if we don't win the league, if Barca win the league and we win the Champions League, we take the shine off them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how petty they are. But both will probably go, okay, well, I'd rather Atletico win it than either of you.
Yeah.
Let's go. We want to talk a little bit about FIFA, corrupt bastards. The 2034 World Cup, only one bidder, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
No stadiums yet. One of the host cities hasn't yet been built.
Yeah.
And they get a glowing report.
Yeah. That's wild.
What are you talking about, Jack?
How much did MBS throw them, bro? Mohammed bin Salman. How much do you think he threw them?
They got a 4.2 out of 5 score. 8 stadiums are all to be built. Like I said, there's a whole host city which hasn't been built yet. And their human rights, the threat of human rights infringements
in the toilets
is ranked as medium.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not low.
That's interesting.
Medium.
That's interesting.
Oh, come on, man.
That's interesting. But also, for me, listen, guys. Okay, I'll tell you this much for free. If a World Cup's in Saudi Arabia, I'm not going. I want to go to Saudi Arabia. Okay, if you offered me a ticket semi-final, finals, cool, I'll go.
Yeah.
But you sit there, you're like, bro, what am I going to do if there are no games?
Dude, I think as they showed with Qatar, FIFA don't give a fuck about the fans going to the World Cup.
Yeah, they really don't.
They
care.
give a shit on what the TV product is.
Yeah.
And what's going into their pockets.
Yeah.
I don't think they give a shit about fans.
Yeah. We saw that clearly.
They really, really don't.
People are complaining, oh no, there's not going to be booze. FIFA were like, so what? So you'll be okay.
I mean, even with Budweiser, we don't give a shit, Budweiser. Do you really think your sponsorship bothers us?
Do you think we care? Do you think you're in the conversation?
Do you really?
Do you think you matter?
It's like we got beyond.
Do
a
you
point.
feel in charge?
McDonald's, fuck you. We don't care anymore. We don't care.
Are you putting up as much as them? Then shut up.
Yes. This. Look whose hands are in our pockets. That's what's happening right now. We don't give a shit about you. We don't give a shit about fans. At
the end of the day, it is a business.
And if you were offered tickets, dude, you would fucking go.
You know, people are like, no, I'm not going. I'm like, bro, it's a World Cup. You are definitely going to go.
Listen, yeah. In terms of my itinerary, I'm fucking screwed because the 2028 Euro is in the UK and Ireland.
Yeah.
With the semi-finals and that all in Dublin. So I'm definitely going to be at that one.
Yeah. That's a vibe, bro.
The 2030 is in Portugal. So all Portugal, Morocco, and Spain.
Yeah,
I think Spain's hosting the final, but all the Portugal games they'll be playing at home.
Yeah.
So I'm there. So for 2 years, I'm fucked, dude. This podcast shit better start making money soon.
My man. My man.
So I'm not even thinking of 2034. But FIFA, come on. It's so obvious right now.
It's blatant, bro.
Don't even pretend anymore. And they don't even pretend anymore because they don't even have the bid. There was no one else competing in it. No. Australia saw it to Saudi Arabia and said, fuck that. We're not even going to go through the expense.
Yeah.
Why should it?
Yeah, they probably they probably learned from what England did and what all those guys did when Russia and Qatar were involved. They're like, let's not even bother, bro. There are other sports we can get. We can get cricket. We can get
So what happens from here, right? So 2034 is going to go. So they've got Qatar, they've got Saudi Arabia, they've done Russia. Where do they
UAE and stuff, my man.
You think it's just going to keep rotating amongst the Middle East?
Bro, who's got the deepest pockets?
Listen, you know what the thing though is?
Whose interest is it in that we bring football to that part of the world? Bro,
it's only in FIFA's interest.
Okay, cool. Fine, it's going to America. It's going to America next, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. America, fine. There's a market there. there's scope to grow the game, and FIFA will.
And I think USA and Mexico. I mean, people sleep on what a big country Mexico is. And
Mexico is the most populated city in the Western Hemisphere is Mexico City. So let that. They've got more Spanish speakers in Mexico than they do in actual Spain. So let that sink in.
Yeah.
But bro, it's not in their interest to bring it to Africa. What are they going to gain from bringing the game in?
You see, listen. Here's the one thing where I do say on the other side of it is that we in South Africa we hosted a World Cup. It's done literally nothing. And that's not FIFA's fault. That's more. People got money out of it, right?
Well, yeah, people,
but we're sitting here footing the bill. There are stadiums sitting there. Municipalities have to pay for those stadiums that no one ever uses.
Yeah.
Even the big matches. I mean, the Soweto Stadium, Soccer City, whatever. I don't know what the fuck they actually call it anymore. Is never full.
Unless it's a
derby or against Sundowns.
Unless it's a Chiefs Pirates derby.
Yeah.
No, even Sundowns.
Not even Sundowns.
Even Sundowns, bro. Even Sundowns, 40,000. That means we've still got like 50,000 empty seats.
So we're sitting with these absolute white. So from that point of view, I go, you know what? Because they were taking it obviously Sepp Blatter because that's where his power base was, right? Africa and South America.
Yeah.
But the problem is there's not money there. So you can take it to those countries, but you're leaving behind a mess.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not leaving a legacy, you're leaving bills.
I mean, you saw what the World Cup in Brazil did. People didn't want it there. They're like, bro, we've got bigger problems. Oh, because Brazil, it was World Cup and then it was Olympics. So it was just like it was just like, okay, cool, like we've got bigger problems. We've got a president we don't want.
We're kind of in a recession.
Yeah. And for us, do you think it's feasible to bring it back to us?
No, I don't know. Listen, I mean,
we've also got our own problems here.
You're never going to get it. So the kind of the situation with Morocco works because Morocco's got money, but also how close it is to Europe.
Yeah.
So the Morocco situation works, and the only way anyone outside of, because that's the other trend, right? The only way out of any one singular country hosting it is co-hosting, because you got Canada, USA, and
Who
Mexico.
Who are we going to co-host with?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We're not taking it to
Zimbabwe and Zambia. I mean, what are we doing here? So listen, the World Cup is not coming back to Africa for a very long time. I mean, unless you do an Egypt thing, it's going to be North Africa.
I think the only World Cup I want back is the rugby one, which they keep shafting us with.
Jesus, I think it's I mean, come on.
Yeah, they keep shafting us with. But I don't know. But how many countries? Okay, Paulo, in your head. How many countries are tomorrow they could host the World Cup?
England,
Germany,
France.
France could, yeah. Spain,
yeah.
Do you think Portugal could?
Never. I don't even think Spain.
Really?
I don't think they have that many high quality stadiums.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I think you need 8 top class stadiums. I don't think Spain have it. I think lots of stadiums. I don't think they have that level.
Germany, France, and England
could, if there's a problem and someone got to pull out. Because that's what you always think about.
Yeah.
And I also think maybe probably going east, Japan, South Korea.
Japan could, yeah. Japan
I suppose could do it quite easily.
But when it's that, we've seen when it's that side, the time difference. The time difference, and people think, oh no, it's not a big deal.
I think Australia could host the World Cup tomorrow.
But how many people are keen to fly to Australia?
But again, I don't think FIFA gives a shit. And also, I think if your team starts doing well and getting to the later rounds, you go, I'm going. You know what I mean? I don't think it becomes a logical decision.
Yeah.
I think it just goes like if Portugal hit the semi-finals, you start going, we're going, right? Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
So I think it starts becoming a logical decision. And the FIFA don't care. What does the TV product look like? Because we got our hands in that pie.
You're actually right, because what does that look like? Speaking of TV products and stuff, did you hear about the Premier League?
Give it to me.
Everything's going to be done in-house, production-wise.
I've seen that, and then they want to sell the rights to a streamer. So I know in the UK there's been a lot of talk this week because all the games that we had in this midweek went to Amazon, were streamed on Amazon. And people are saying that experience, the package, the hosts, everything is way better. And there's kind of talks that the next Premier League package is going to one of the streamers, or all of them. It'll be split amongst them.
What do you think that means for us people here?
Oh no, we'll still get it. I mean, listen, we're not the most lucrative market, but we are a big market in terms of sentiment, in terms of Africa, not South Africa itself. I want to stay on FIFA and their bullshit, the FIFA Club World Cup. Okay, so that's a response, right? That's a response. Let's give a counter because we want to be balanced, right? We don't just want to be lazy and say bullshit here, right?
Yeah.
They did the draw yesterday. Okay.
Tell us.
Okay, so here's the groups. When you start seeing names, I start getting excited, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because look, so far everyone does is complain about it. Yeah. And they'll complain about it until they start seeing the bonuses.
But do you know what it's like, Azul? You remember how everybody was complaining about this Champions League format until they saw what fixtures it offered, and people are like, oh,
it's not bad. Board. So here's the thing. Okay, so it's made up of 8 groups. Okay. Right. Listen, the qualification is bullshit because because you think, okay, it's going to be the champions and
how Inter Miami got in.
Listen, I mean,
I'm Inter Miami because for one guy only.
For your boy Beckham. Okay, so here you go. Group A, Palmeiras, Porto, Ahly, and Inter Milan. That's interesting. That's interesting,
bro. You mess up, then you can call it Palmeiras, Porto, Inter Milan, and who else? Ahly.
That's okay.
And if Inter Milan mess up one game, they could find themselves very quick, and it's
still embarrassing.
Yeah, but none of those teams are garbage, though.
That's okay. Group B, PSG, Atletico, Botafogo, and Seattle Sounders.
Sounders are getting topped.
Yeah.
The Sounders are coming last.
But PSG, Atletico, and Botafogo, like the one thing you're going to get here, so like the South American teams are going to be hungry.
Yeah, because they want to show.
We want to bloody your nose.
They want to show. They're saying there's a big casualty somewhere.
Group C, Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Benfica, Boca Juniors, and poor Auckland City from New Zealand.
They're catching 5 every game.
Just bring your Sharpies and make sure your phone's charged for the selfies. Okay, bring an extra bag for the shirts you're taking.
Yeah. Who are you going to swap with?
Yeah. Already set that up. Hit the slide in the DMs.
Boca going to be out for blood.
Right. Okay.
Boca going to be out for blood.
Group D, a bit of a gimme for Chelsea. Chelsea's in Group D. Club Leon, Esperance and Flamengo. Okay, not as exciting, but Chelsea, Flamengo, they're going to be a good game.
But Esperance, Flamengo, bro.
Sorry, you know what? I fucked up Group A.
Yeah?
Group A is Palmeiras, Porto, Ahly, and Inter Miami.
But Inter Miami aren't crap because they got Barca.
And I think a couple of games are at their stadium because it's going to be hosted at their stadium. So they got home ground advantage.
So you said Palmeiras,
Porto, Ahly, and Inter Milan.
I'm going to call it now. Ahly and Porto going to go through.
Okay. Listen,
Inter Miami.
I call fix. Inter Miami are through. Group E, River Plate. Urawa Red Diamonds. CF Monterrey and Inter Milan. That's where Inter Milan's in Group E with River Plate. River Plate in a competitive match.
Jesus, bro. How many South Americans, how many Argentinians in that game, bro?
You know what? You've been stealing our players for years.
We're going to get you.
Group F, Fluminense, Borussia Dortmund, Ulsan HD, and Mamelodi Sundowns.
Come on, Sundowns.
So this is the thing. This is where I say it's interesting, right? Because where else? And I'm disappointed for Sundowns because that group, it's winnable.
But it doesn't do anything for their stock.
No ways, dude. I think it takes them next level.
You think so?
The poor fuckers that got taken out of the FIFA games. You know, remember they were in for one season, then they're out. But listen, I think so for Sundowns. Where the fuck are Sundowns going to play at that level competitively? I think they're looking at that group and they're going, we can get out of this group.
Yeah, easily.
We can get out of this group.
And then we play someone heavy like in Europe, and then our stock
people
rises.
go, shit, Sundowns. And listen, there's money. Now, listen, I mean, people already complain about how much money Sundowns have.
Yeah.
And already how much money they're getting prizes. This is going to take Sundowns to a level where they're winning the title 15 years in a row.
Right. But I mean, Pirates have mounted a challenge this year, but like it's a marathon, not a sprint. That's
the thing. But I just think Sundowns now go to and this is where I like the tournament.
Yeah.
Because I'm going, where else are Sundowns going to be exposed to? Okay, Borussia Dortmund, Fluminense, and you gotta say Sundowns get out of that group.
Yeah.
You gotta say.
But Sundowns, on their day, I think they could take Dortmund.
100%. Especially if they show up there with an attitude of this is a bit of a waste of our time as a European team.
Yeah.
And then you bloody some noses and people going, fuck, that was quite embarrassing. I know there was the draw for the knockouts as well, but I actually don't have it with me. Group G, listen, there's one man whose dreams come true here.
Yeah.
one man, and tell me who you think it is. Group G is Juventus, Al Ain FC, Manchester City, and Wydad Casablanca. Who do you think's dream has just come true?
You told me.
Rhulani gets to take on Pep.
Oh, yes.
he's at Casablanca. He gets to take. He's like, bruh. Fuck, please don't get fired. Please don't get fired. Please don't get fired.
I'm asking this guy everything.
He's sitting there going, shit, Pep, don't lose your mind in between and quit. And I need to not get fired. I'm just happy for him. His Christmas has come early.
Oh, bro, he's like, boys, don't ruin this for me. Don't F this up for me. Don't F this up for me. I've never asked you guys for anything except to win games.
I bought the same pants as Pep.
Yeah.
I bought them, and not from Pep. Yeah. From where Pep buys his pants.
Yeah.
And I get to take him on.
Yeah.
I'm just happy for him.
No, bro, yeah. I mean, he's going to pick that guy's brain like effed up, bro.
And then Group H, Real Madrid, Al Hilal, CF Pachuca, and FC Salzburg. Talk about getting talk about getting a gimme.
I want to see like the undertale, the brown envelopes. I want to see the brown envelopes that exchange like that are getting exchanged there.
So listen, man, you know what? It's one thing to shit on it, but once you start seeing the lineups, and I think once you start getting the opportunities, I just say, so like I look at it from a Sundowns point of view, not like I'm a Sundowns fan, but I think for South African football, and then you start going through all the teams, like Auckland FC, Wydad Casablanca, they're going, shit, guys, like this is a chance to go up a level, and we do it this year, then we do the next one, and it changes the game and exposes the game, and look, what you're going to have definitely is continental super clubs.
Oh yeah, bro.
Because Sundowns will get to a position where they can just buy whoever they want across Africa.
Sundowns, I think Sundowns now, what they're looking at is like how. Okay, Chiefs and Pirates, we've done that. They're looking at Al Ahly and they're saying, "Bro, we're coming for you."
Well, that's the thing. We want kind of that dynasty that you guys had. That
we want.
I mean, how many did Al Ahly do in a row?
But Al Ahly are the wealthiest club in Africa.
So and Sundowns. Okay, listen, Al Ahly are back in there, but Sundowns get the chance to go. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, let's see if you guys are really it.
Let's do it. And as we saw with the AFCON, it can only be good for Bafana as well.
Yeah,
because suddenly you can. Not only keep the best players in South Africa, but give them the best exposure.
And the thing is, like for me, like once we said it here, like once you keep your base in your own league and your own country, it becomes easier. It becomes easier to manage an international football club, because like you're just saying, guys, just do what you do at club level. Just do what you do at club level, and now you don't really have to do anything as a manager except like make sure that the people that are watching. That are giving you information and that are feeding it to you you listen to them.
Every successful international side has had a base from one club.
Yeah,
even if they don't currently all play at their club, they come from there.
Yeah.
Just on that, what do you think of your boy being linked to Barcelona?
Oh, Mofokeng.
Yeah.
Nah, they don't go to Barca, bro.
But like I saw it's Barcelona B.
Exactly, but what are you going there for?
I don't want to shit on the dude, but like...
No, but like for me as well, it's not going to do anything for him. Do you know? Because he's going to get frustrated that he's not like playing, and then it's going to end up... And it's going to... It happens to South African players all the time. And you look at Percy Tau.
And also the thing is, though, I mean, like 20 years old, like it might be young in South African football... At 20, especially in a Barcelona context.
Bro, if you're not hitting the ground running.
You know what I mean? He's going to come up against kids who are like, dude, you are raw as shit. And like 18,
you're Miles.
You're right. And yes, Lamine Yamal is a different story. He is but he's not abnormal when it comes to Barcelona. So you're going to come in at 20 years old, and you're going to get
found out. You're going to get found out
because your technical level is you might have it, but like
you're not. You know what I mean. With all due respect to South African teams,
you should be going at 16, not at 20. 20's too late.
Like technique wise, like you get like special guys like Mofokeng and stuff, but then they get to Spain and then they see what those guys, bro. You're gonna feel like you're surrounded by 11 Iniestas.
That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna feel like you're surrounded by 11 Iniestas, and the thing is, fitness is another thing there.
Yeah.
Because our guys, like if you're good in South Africa, you can get away with not being like fit and like. But in Europe, if you're not fit,
well, that's the first thing.
There's no hiding.
That's the first thing. Interesting to see how it happens. Yeah, but I don't want to shit on it, but I did see it was Barcelona B. So I'm kind of, because the way they operate is that they do play in, but I think they play in a regional league. I don't even think they're in the
Serie B. The second Liga B.
Liga B, yeah.
Segunda.
Anyway, listen, it's great and it's a great headline, but I mean, I think it's kind of like, I just think at 20 years old, you're too old. You're too old for Europe.
Okay, if it's also a financial thing, like, okay, you think how much money will you be earning at Barca B compared to how much you could... You're earning at Pirates. Like, trust me, you're earning.
Exactly.
You're making, you're comfortable at Pirates. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's anyway. Nice story. Keeps the journos busy over this time of year. Listen, a bit of a sad story, but turned out well. An ex-Roma player, Eduardo Bove. Did you see him collapse this week?
Jeez, no, bro.
Oh man, so he was a Roma player on loan at Fiorentina, and during the match against Inter Milan over the weekend, he collapsed. And listen, the reaction didn't look good. But of course, Italians are very emotional.
No, but the thing is, if anybody collapses on the field, bro, it's concerning.
And we've had that. I mean, you saw it with Christian Eriksen. So he is actually they put him in a coma just as precaution, but he's back up talking to the players. There are no long-term damage. He did suffer a heart attack,
but that's the end of his career, though.
Especially in Italy, because they don't allow you to play with
if you've got
any defibrillators. Because Christian Eriksen, that's why he had to leave, because he had one inserted and all clear by the doctors medically. But in Italy, they won't insure a player or a club. And I believe the way they do it is that the doctor who signs off on his medical, if you do have a heart condition, is personally liable. So it's not even the club.
Oh no!
So that's why.
Also, you don't want people coming at you for medical malpractice.
Exactly, because you've had a lot of. I mean, in Nwankwo Kanu, he had a heart.
He had a heart problem,
and went on played a long career. And of course, because he was 25. When he came through the Ajax Academy. And he wasn't allowed to play in Italy. So
because he was at Inter.
He was at Inter. And then they discovered a heart problem. And it happens in Italy. They're very, very strict.
Yeah.
They're very, very strict.
But how does that make you feel about the whole thing? Do you think it's good or a bad thing?
Listen, I think you got to put player safety first. And I think, listen, it must be such a... I mean, I saw, not in real life, but there were two incidents that I remember seeing in TV. Miklos Ferher, a Benfica player, I remember watching that game, and he collapsed and died on the field. And Mark Vivian Foe, I watched that game. I was watching that game, and they were just after each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, you don't want to see that shit, man. I mean,
it's like, bro, it's wild, bro.
So if you can prevent it, but anyway, he's fine. But listen, I probably done. If he does have a heart condition, he probably
do you get paid out? Do they give you a check?
Yeah, listen, who knows? That could be.
Or does your contract just go to the dogs now? Because it's because I mean, I wouldn't really call it a breach, bro. Because anybody can
you pass the medical.
Yeah,
pass the medical. If the club signs off that you're medically fit to play, I mean, and also in Italy, their protocols for heart examinations are very high. They're the highest in Europe.
Oh, okay.
So it's like they regularly tested for heart conditions.
But also the Italians, don't they live like they're 3,000, bro?
Yeah, they do. Listen, you mentioned the dude's name early. Percy Tau's contract at Al Ahly is being terminated. So they've set terms, a mutual agreement that they're going to set his terms.
What's next for him, though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Al Ahly playing Pirates this week, right?
Are they going to catch?
I think they're playing Pirates.
I don't feel Al Ahly, but they've damaged me in finals.
So here's it. Negotiations have hit a stumbling block, with Al Ahly claimed to have offered the player $300,000, which is 5.4 million rand, as part of the termination. And he wants paid out his full contract of $600,000, which is 10.8 million. So stand his ground. I mean, he's got a contract. He's got a contract.
Take it, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? You don't want it's all the red tape. I think he also just wants to be out of there. Because I think he just went there for pizza, and pizza was like, bye.
Yeah, he's only made 4 appearances for them, only started once. I don't think it's quite worked out for him. And of course, the change in coach is a huge thing. I mean, I don't think he gets that move without pizza, to be honest. But listen, whichever way he does, he's coming back a very, very rich man.
Yeah, bro.
He's coming back with that Teko Modise money.
But like, who do you think... Who picks him up here? Well, Chiefs could do it, somebody.
At 30 years old.
Chiefs could do it, somebody.
And listen, he's also in a position where he can, can choose a club not for the money. You know what I mean? But if he wants the money, listen, if he gets his full payout. But you know what? Maybe make a move somewhere else. You know,
But to where though? Where's he?
Well, listen. I mean, I think it's very disappointing. It never worked out for him at Brighton. I think
he just stayed in Belgium.
You see, well, he should have, probably stayed in Belgium. But I don't know if they could have afforded him. I would like him to see at 30 years old. Okay, maybe he's a little bit, but I don't come back to South Africa just yet. I think give a chance of going, try somewhere. MLS, try it somewhere else. You know what I mean?
So?
There's a lot of South Africans doing well in MLS.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Give it a try. Give it a try.
I hear you.
We did Casablanca.
Rhulani, come on, go get your boy, bro. Go get your boy, bro.
You heard it here first. We did Casablanca. And listen, one of our show favorites, Paul Pogba, the date has been set for a verdict on his brother's blackmail trial.
Nice.
You know it's going to be awkward? All the pictures. Because obviously his brother tried to extort him, said that he's got a witch doctor and that they put a curse on Mbappé.
They must go, bro. Please
hidden bones.
Guys, just go fetch your hyena first before anything, please. Like I'm tired of this. Every week I must plead with you guys. Go fetch your thing and then please, so that we can put this ordeal behind us.
Just put it all to bed. Now, what's been happening? So he's claimed that he has manipulated into getting involved in the kidnapping and blackmailing scheme. And they've only asked for a 3-year sentence, 2 years which he's suspended,
yeah,
and a fine of 10,000 euros.
He's got that.
Yeah. Or it could be reduced because of house arrest with an electronic bracelet. What's been awkward, I think, is that all the photos of him appearing in court or anything, he's been with his mother. So now your mother's got to back you, but now are you choosing over your son?
It's your brother, bro, at the end of the day.
Maybe he was really tricked and coerced into it, and Paul Pogba's got...
No, but
complicated.
No.
That's complicated.
But Paulo, if I'm tricked and coerced into it, I don't need to go to court. We sit down as brothers and we talk about this.
Yeah.
You feel
me?
I
suppose you're right, yeah.
Mom, don't worry about it. I'll solve it with him. But now if...
You know what? It's just this thing with, there was a lot of stupid noise a few weeks ago about Pogba coming back to Manchester United.
Oh, no.
I mean, it was just he's training there and Amorim should sign him. Where everyone was like, no, he's not training here. It's bullshit. Where did you guys get this?
If Pogba's training there, what message does that send?
No, and I think I'm glad it was nonsense. And I think anyone in a new dispensation would have said, no ways anybody to do with the past is out of here.
Honestly,
right? Anyone to do with failure.
We're trying to clean this house, and then you guys are bringing back ghosts from the past. What are we doing?
But this is just the thing with Pogba. It just goes the baggage that comes with him.
It's too much.
You know what I mean?
It's too much.
He's in a position now where I think in January he can sign a contract for his next club, right?
Where do you think he goes though?
But anybody looking at it goes he's going. You. Is this the time for that? Just look at the noise that comes with him. Never mind the constant distraction. It goes. This is just the thing with him. It's too much.
I think he's going to go back to. I think he's going to go to PSG.
I think here's what I think's happening. You heard it here first.
Okay.
I got it wrong about Ruben Amorim going to Man City because Hugo Viana went there.
Yeah.
I got that one wrong. Here's my next big call. Griezmann is his contract with Atletico ends. He's definitely going to MLS.
All right.
And the timing fits perfectly.
Pogba.
Because him and Griezmann, wherever Griezmann goes in MLS, that's where he goes. LAFC.
LAFC.
I think into Miami.
Into Miami's full, bro. It's stacked.
They're full of older guys.
Oh.
They're full of older guys. Griezmann and Pogba into Miami.
It could happen.
I think Neymar's going to Inter Miami.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, come on. Come on.
But I think that's where he goes. I think when Griezmann goes to...
But salary caps are real in American sport. Luxury tax.
They're not fucking around there. So that has been kind of our catch-up on all these stories in world football. Coming up next, we've got Goat Farm, and I'm breaking rules, but that's what we do. Rip up the running order. But
bro, it's, rules are... Do you know what rules are? They're a suggestion.
That's quite right. Senzo's going to love what we're doing. So Goat Farm is our Hall of Fame where we just induct our favorite people from sports. So
bro, we can induct a class if we want, bro.
Well, okay. So I was gonna... So far we've only inducted... Well, we've inducted a video game and mostly singular athletes. I was going to induct an entire team.
Okay.
And then when I started looking at that entire team, I thought, shit, I can't separate them from the tournament.
Okay.
So for the first time, I'm inducting an entire tournament into Goat Farm. There's something about your first World Cup, right? That just the first World Cup you watch is the best World Cup. What was your first World Cup?
Like that I watched proper. France 98.
France 98. Okay. And that's
94 was a bit too young. I was like,
and that's the one where you're in.
Yeah,
that's
no, you're in. I'm watching every game. I'm invested. I know I'm involved. I know what's going on.
And for you, the best World Cup? 98?
Best World Cup?
It's definitely your top three.
Yeah, it's top three.
Right?
Top three.
Our first World Cup's our best World Cup.
Yeah.
All right, because there's something about it.
Yeah.
So my first World Cup, I was 1990. If I was into sports, it was probably tennis more.
Yeah.
But I was into He-Mans and Thundercats and Ninja Turtles. I wasn't really. So my first World Cup
94.
was 94, and that's what I'm inducting. I'm inducting the FIFA World Cup 1994.
I feel like I missed out
into Goat Farm. Well, dude, I'm going. Yes, that's what Goat Farm's about.
I feel like I missed out, man, because I know. Yeah, it had everything. Like if I think about the timelines of football, it had everything.
Okay,
yeah.
So I'm going to give it to you, right? So the FIFA World Cup. Now, for me as well, the FIFA World Cup in 1994 feels to me like the last of the World Cups that looked different. Because after that, all the World Cups started looking the same. They started getting homogenized.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch FIFA TV?
Yes.
Okay. And you just chuck on a game and they got World Cup games.
Yeah.
Do you know sometimes, okay, like I'm like a fucking anorak like that, so I'll recognize a kit and the livery around the score, and I'll kind of know which team it is, or which World Cup it is. But sometimes you just have to wait till you see the sideboard to know exactly which tournament. Because from 98,
because
they
from
started looking the same.
From 98, France 98. You can even say 96, Euro 96, because Euro 96 kind of looked like France 98, which kind of looked like Euro 2000. Euro 2000 and France 98 looked the same.
And then even Japan 2002. The only one that kind of breaks it was South African World Cup.
Yeah.
Because I think the stands were, because it was a Winter World Cup, people weren't like bright. Everyone was in a big jacket.
Yeah.
And then the sound.
Yeah.
Okay, of the Vuvuzela.
Yeah.
So that one also still. But World Cups just became homogeneous, especially the last 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Brazil 2014, Russia 2018,
Qatar 2. It's the same thing.
It looks, they're so homogenized, right?
It's like they're playing in the same stadium all the time.
94 looked so different because I think you could see the heat.
Yeah.
A big thing about that World Cup was how hot it was. It was the first World Cup with cooling breaks.
Yeah.
And the stadiums, they didn't play in football-specific stadiums. They played in football. They played in NFL stadiums.
Yeah, like college
stadiums,
like Rose
right?
Bowl and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it was a World Cup that weren't played in football stadiums and soccer stadiums, football,
And I know what you're getting.
The US didn't have a professional league. Part of getting the conditions, and these were FIFA's conditions then, brown envelopes, handbag for my wife, and start a league. The MLS started the next season. Simple. So that was a wild thing about the World Cup. Also the last World Cup with 24 teams.
Did they only have 24?
They only had 24 from France 98. They went to 32.
32, yeah.
So there was, which was interesting because the top 3 in most of the groups went through. Mm-hmm. But dude, like, this is where we're going to get into it. So of course, like I say, I loved it because it was my first World Cup.
Funny enough, I can tell you who won. I can tell you who won that World Cup and who they played in the final. I can't tell you who played who in the quarters, who played who in the semis, what happened.
That's what Goat Farm's for. So the final was won by Brazil, who also arrived at that World Cup, not having won a World Cup for 24 years.
Yeah, last one was
1970, right? And now for like that, you can't have that.
Is it
I think they're on the second longest stretch now.
What
2002 was their last one.
Which is 22 years.
So by the time they'll be on 24. 24 again.
Yeah, 24.
By the next World Cup, Jesus. Right? So Brazil got these long runs.
On 24.
24.
Yeah,
it'll be 24. Yeah,
sure.
So they're going. So they hadn't won, and they arrive at this World Cup now. Brazil had always been Brazil, and they arrive at this World Cup not built around a number 10, but built around a number 6. Dunga,
Carlos,
of all people. There were a lot of plodders, but now Brazil obviously had adapted because they went, we we used to play very isolated, but our way worked, won us World Cups. Then the world moved on without us, and players became bigger and physical and stronger and fitter, and we weren't there. So they started developing players to play that and importing them or exporting them. So Brazilian players started looking different, right? And the Brazilian public didn't like this team. Mario Zagallo was the coach. They were like, no. Even their stars.
Romario,
even Romario, as deadly a striker as he wasn't the Ronaldinho. He was like
wasn't
strong,
Bebeto on the team?
Powerful. Bebeto was a bit of the star, man. Bebeto had the things. But it was a very un-Brazilian team.
Yeah.
Until they started playing.
I get you.
Now, the thing back then is, Portugal didn't qualify for World Cups. Really, I mean, 86 was 66, 86 until we started this run now. So a lot of Portuguese supported Brazil, right?
I mean,
it's kind of got the same language. A lot of our blood's in you. We took some of your people. Sorry about that.
We're cousins.
We're cousins. Don't ask historically. It's a bit messy, but
we're cousins.
And so a lot of Portuguese
we're cousins through
Brazil,
marriage,
especially against Italy because Portugal played the final game against Italy. And it was a little bit controversial. Rui Costa got sent off early. Italy got a penalty. Listen, Italy got to the World Cup final, so they were evidently a much better team.
I mean, they did have the guy who won the Ballon d'Or the year before, Roberto Baggio.
We'll get to that, dude. So there was all this. Plus, what was, personally, for me, why I loved it, why it's goated for me, is we were in Portugal at the time, over July. And now there's the time difference, obviously, with the US, but in Portugal, over summer, the sun goes down at 11.
Oh, come on.
So your whole lifestyle shifts. So if a game's 2 o'clock in the morning,
it's fine.
It's like being at 8 o'clock at night. It's your whole lifestyle. So you're enjoying the games. And the apartment we stayed in, there was a Brazilian restaurant downstairs. Every Brazil game just went ballistic. So
go away, we
you put all of this, and like wherever we went, our whole life, our whole day was planned around where can we watch it? And games were everywhere. Yeah. It felt like something, right? It was the first time I'd been overseas. If not for a tournament, watching the tournament, you got the sense that something was happening, right? So you have this World Cup. And another thing that was interesting about it is it was the first, now don't quote me on this, but I don't think I'm wrong. It was the first time that a World Cup had taken place after the Soviet Empire had broken up. Yes. So Russia played as Russia, not the USSR. Czechoslovakia, they'd been in a split. So suddenly Bulgaria were there. Yugoslavia weren't in there. But you had the breakup of the Soviet unit. So Russia were Russia.
Yeah.
And then you have these teams that pop up. So Bulgaria, okay. Now, they had been in other World Cups, and the big story was, here's Bulgaria. They've never won a game, and they win the first game. And then they just go on a run.
That's unbelievable.
To the semi-finals, you asked.
Is it like the South Korea thing?
With less of a fix. Because they had a guy called Hristo Stoichkov, who, if you don't know Stoichkov,
come on, boy.
Like
ask Romario who Stoichkov is. Ask Romario who Stoichkov is.
Those two were an absolute menace. It brings another thing to me. It brings such another thing to me because there was what was in the water in the mid-90s that produced so many maverick players?
Honestly.
You had Stoichkov.
Yeah.
Hadji.
Yes.
Cantona.
Yes.
In this World Cup, you had Maradona. Who got kicked out for taking steroids.
Roided Maradona.
You just had these absolute lunatic mavericks in football. Romario, another one. Yeah. In the mid-90s.
Mr. I want a party, so take me off at halftime. Just score me 2 goals and you can go to Carnival.
That was the deal. I mean, that was the story.
For Barca, yeah.
Yeah, he got told, I need to leave for, he told Johan Cruyff. I
want to go to Carnival, man.
I need to go to Carnival.
There's a plane with my buddies in it.
Yeah, he said, okay, scored 2 goals by halftime. I'll sub you off. I think he scored 4, didn't he?
He said, listen, I'm going now.
And he changed into his suit and said, cheers, I'm out.
Yes.
I mean, these are the characters who work here. So you have Bulgaria, and not only did you have Stoichkov, you had Balakov. Balakov,
bro.
Balakov was, like he played for Sporting at the time, and he was just a magician. I mean, you want to talk about probably one of the best players you may never have seen or heard of. He was just, and to have that world stage.
Do you know what he's going to be like? Do you know what I liken Balakov to? I liken him to Berbatov. Because Berbatov, like, if you didn't see Berbatov play,
Yeah.
Like, also, when we talk about Berbatov gets... You don't really mention him, but like if you saw him play, you knew there's something there.
There was that same touch. So I think if you think of Berbatov's touch, Stoichkov, he was a lot more mobile.
Yeah, he was mobile, he was very direct.
Belikov, very quick.
Yeah,
very quick over like short distances. He would just, a fantastic player, magician. A really good Romanian team. Led by Georgi Hagi, but you had Petrescu.
Oh yeah, Petrescu, man.
I mean, just
Dan Petrescu.
They were just
for the Chelsea fans that started when Chelsea, real Chelsea fans.
Go back. He was probably one of your first kind of like foreign stars.
Yeah, proper right
Zola,
back.
Hullet. Romania just had a whole bunch of stars. Sweden.
All right, yeah.
Thomas Brolin,
Henrik Larsson,
and Henrik Larsson, France, and then Martin Dahlin.
All right, yeah.
Go back to Martin Dahlin. I think he came to Blackburn, if I'm not mistaken, at one point. Yeah. But again, you just had this World Cup of insane goal scorers, insane
people
strikers.
That could do anything.
And let's also not sleep on. This was one of the, I think, the first and last World Cup where an African team arrived and you went, they could win this thing.
Yeah.
Nigeria. And that was the Nigeria Super Eagles.
No, yeah. Because it was both from, no, actually, no. Yeah.
Amunike. Amokachi.
Amokachi.
Kanu.
Yeah, bro.
You know,
young JJ Okocha.
Taribo West.
Bro. Taribo West and he's different coloured hair, bro.
You know, so many African greats then. And it was a pity because that was a powerful team and they were looking so good until they met the inevitable Thanos of Roberto Baggio.
But also that Italy team is hot, bro.
So we'll get to that Italy side. So you have Nigeria who are just doing all the things. You had that fantastic game with the USA beating Italy in Ireland.
Yeah.
The Republic of Ireland beating Italy in the first the first game. You know, so Italy go on to get to the final, have a fantastic World Cup, but they lose their first game, which is very Italian.
Yeah.
I remember that game was played. I'm gonna correct myself, but I think it was played in Boston. And the two biggest communities in Boston is Italians and Irish. So it was just like the atmosphere in that game.
Bro, all the Italians from New York were like, we're going to make that trip, bro.
That was just it. And I think it was the Liverpool player, Ray Clement.
Oh, yeah.
If I think I got the name right, who scored just the most like audaciously... I'm just going to hit this goal that
I'm clapping it. I don't care where it goes.
That's what I've seen. Defending champions Germany didn't have a great World Cup, and I think this was kind of the start of Germany. You know, they had that weird period. I mean, okay, they won Euro 96, but they kind of like...
And then France 98, they bombed.
They bombed in France 98.
2002.
They went to
but we know
Euro
2002.
2000 and 2002.
It was luck. I read it was luck.
What was the striker that they had?
Miroslav Klose.
That was it. He also dragged them to the final. I mean, I think he still holds the record for most goals in a World Cup.
It's 15,
15?
16. 16.
16. So Germany kind of disappointing. You had Cameroon in there, of course. Roger Miller becoming the oldest and still holds it. Yeah. The oldest player to ever score in the World Cup finals. Yeah. Officially at the age of 42.
Jesus Christ.
Officially.
Ronaldo could break it.
I mean, he has another name, man, who played for the Cameroon. Oman Biek. I mean, that is a name from the past. I mean, dude, Brazil had Rai playing for them.
Bruh.
You know Rai's Kaka's brother?
Yeah.
They're brothers. I don't think the world talks enough about that.
Yes, bro.
And then also another team that arrived in the World Cup, Pele tipped them to win. It was Colombia.
Oh, yeah, Escobar.
Now, Colombia, yes, exactly, were kind of the poster boys of Narcos football.
Yeah.
Pretty much the entire squad played in Colombia because the Narcos paid them so much money
to stay in Colombia.
To stay there. And you mentioned Escobar. I don't know if you're talking about Pablo or Andres Escobar.
Andres Escobar.
But of course...
I mean, I mentioned Pablo Escobar every second.
Now, of course, inevitably, there was huge tension between Colombia and the USA at this time. This is like peak Narcos.
Yeah,
because the USA was like, give us Escobar.
And give us that guy.
Yes, and there was just like a lot of tension.
But he was dead by then. He died December 93.
93.
Yeah,
but the tension was there, right? Yeah. There was tension there. And inevitably, the two of them now play each other.
Oh.
Right? And poor Andres Escobar. Now, a lot of the Colombian players of the time, Esprilla, what's the dude with the big hair?
Valderrama.
They were Narcos guys.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper as well.
Rene
Higuita. They were Narcos guys.
Yeah.
Rene Higuita went to jail for carrying money, but I mean, for being involved in a kidnapping case. It wasn't me. The money was just in my car. Whatever.
Okay.
They were narco football guys, right? They were partying with Escobar. Everyone knew it. Andres Escobar was clean living. He didn't want part of it. He was trying to get out of Colombia. He was signed by AC Milan. He was joining AC Milan after the tournament. And he scores an own goal. And they go back to Colombia, and he gets warned, don't go out.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people lost money on that game because they bet big money on the game. And he was warned, don't go out. And he went out and he got shot. Yeah. And I remember it's kind of the news came out in the middle of the tournament. You're like, oh my God. And I was 14 at the time, and it kind of goes, shit, my life is only football right now. At 14, all you go, you go, shit, like, this is how much soccer means to people.
Yeah, bro. Bro, people live and they die for this thing, bro.
I was wrong about Italy and the Republic of Ireland. They played in New Jersey, which is even, more so.
That's like neutral, though. And it's like Boston. It's like,
And at the Giants,
New Jersey.
And at the Giants Stadium.
Oh wow, Alex.
That's what I'm saying. It was just quite wild. Quite wild. So as I said, Italy lost their first game. Italy only went through in third place. You know, like I said, because 2014 is right. So, like typical Italy.
I'm sure the 5 families got together and they said, listen, capiche? Do you understand?
Right. So, Italy go through and they play Spain and win 2-1, you know, because at that time, Italy always beat Spain. Bulgaria had knocked out Germany. I remember the goal was Lechkov with the diving header. Lechkov had the bald head.
Yeah.
He had the nice little chromie and the little monk, and he diving header, the ball off that head. Brazil beat Holland, the Netherlands, in such a classic game. And the Netherlands were in between generations because they were kind of that last little throw of the
Van
Euro.
Basten,
I don't think Van Basten played. But that last little throw before the Ajax kind of generation came through.
Yeah.
And then Sweden beat Romania in a fantastic game, 2-2. I remember that game was killer. But the ball, when it hit Lechkov's head, and I think a lot of what made this World Cup so spectacular was the ball. Now,
I think so.
It was the Adidas Questra.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay.
If you've never kicked a Questra, you've never kicked a soccer ball. I don't want to. I see all these new balls now. They got dimples. They got this rigid. The Questra, like honestly, I don't know if you ever played with the first Predators when they came out with the little fins.
Yes.
Like, I could never quite get a curl right. It was inconsistent. Yeah. The Questra, every time you hit that fucking ball, it curved. Every time you hit it. And go back and watch the goals of USA 94. Every ball fucking, when it gets hit, it stays hit. It moves all over the place. It's spinning everywhere.
Yeah.
It's Jabulani has nothing on the Questra, but it was a pure hit.
But I heard, because people complain about Jabulani and also... Bro, FIFA Nova in 2002. FIFA Nova was also apparently difficult
to flying around.
Yeah.
The Questra did all of that, but it was a pure hit. So the guys who could hit a ball, Stoichkov, Hadji, Baggio, Amunike scored a crazy one. It's like the guys who could hit a ball. You just knew. And I had one of those, and you knew when you hit it.
Ball, and when you got it sweet, you knew.
Oh, when
you pinged it, you knew.
That ball was pure G-spot. It was pure G-spot all over.
Yes.
So we get through to the semi-finals now because there was no round of 16. Went straight to quarters.
Yeah.
No, I lie. Sorry, it did go. What I haven't spoken about yet is Argentina in this World Cup.
Hey, bro.
Now, Maradona had been bought out from, I don't know where he was, and they dug him up. And a lot of any Maradona media, documentaries, books, a lot of it talks, yes, he got kicked out of this World Cup for failing a drugs test, okay?
Yeah.
But a lot of it talks about how hard he worked to get fit for this World Cup.
Do you know, so guys, let me liken it to you. For those of you who watch cricket, it was like when Shane Warne got sent home from the World Cup here, the Cricket World Cup here. That's exactly his kind of status and all that, yeah.
That's where he was. So, I mean, by this stage, he was in his 30s already. He was cooked, right? He was
done, bro.
He had bloated, but I mean, a lot of the...
But he did look like he was leaner.
No, he looked good. He worked hard a lot. He totally clean.
Yeah.
off the drugs. He totally cleaned up his act for this World Cup. He wanted one last go at a World Cup, and this was it. And after scoring a goal against Greece, he runs to the camera, screaming.
Do you think it was the road rage?
It's an iconic Maradona, and you just looked at it, you go,
road rage.
that guy's fucked. Like he's on drugs.
He's high, bro.
He's on, and it was that game. They took him straight away to go do a urine test, and then he gets kicked out the World Cup the next day.
That's when Argentina, they weren't wearing their blue and white, they were wearing like all blue.
Yeah,
all blue.
All blue kit.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, I mean, because of that Maradona picture.
Yeah.
I mean, this is also a World Cup where you got Batistuta and Claudio Caniggia playing together up front with Maradona behind them.
Imagine.
I mean, what are we playing at here?
What?
What are we playing at here? So, that was the last World Cup of Maradona. So I just think how can you not love this World Cup?
Yeah, bro.
And then we get to the finals, of which, Italy had been dragged there by Roberto Baggio, because he was crucial in the game against Spain. He was crucial in the game against Bulgaria.
This was the reigning Ballon d'Or, dude.
He was, and I mean, this is why I got it wrong. There was a knockout round after the groups, because they played Nigeria then, and Nigeria were winning. And Baggio comes and goes, "Yeah, I'm going to change this." Franco Baresi,
just imagine,
got a terrible injury. Was supposed to be out the tournament. An injury that takes months to recover from. He recovered from in 2 weeks.
Swag, I like it. There's young Paulo Maldini.
So we're going to get to the final. I'm going to pull something out my bag here, Senzo. This is why I tell you why I love this World Cup.
Yeah, tell me.
Like I said, this is my first World Cup.
Yes.
I had a little book.
This is my thing.
I had a little follow along.
This is why you're the guy.
And look at the condition that book's in, dude. That book is from 1994.
This book is 30 years old.
Look at that.
That book is 30 years old.
It's one of those books that you have that gives you all the facts about the World Cup, and you fill in the scores as you go along.
So they don't do this anymore.
It's all online, or someone will do it in a magazine. But dude, look at that. Look at the condition of that.
Bro, this is actually perfect. This is mint condition.
Right?
Oh, and they even show you African qualifiers.
Not even it takes you through the qualifiers, but don't go to the end yet. Just before you get to the final.
I'm not. I'm just looking at.
I mean, even look at the spine, dude. The spine's not creased,
bro.
Look how I take care of my shirt,
bro. Bro, you must keep this book. I'm going to give it to Demry, my son, bro.
Hey, how awesome is that?
Oh, bro, even there's Maradona right there.
How awesome is that? So it's like a little hand-sized book that you fill in the scores and the
24
teams,
qualifiers,
right?
Actually.
So we're going to get to the final. Romario and Bebeto had been
tearing things up.
Think York and Cole. Think Holland.
Think Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah, man. They were just
tearing it up.
I want to read you the final, because I wrote it. That's my handwriting there. Look at that. That's my cursive. I was 14 years old.
Cursive.
He has the Brazilian starting lineup. Tafarel.
Chassis.
Jairzinho.
Chassis.
Aldair.
Chassis.
Marcio Santos.
Jesus.
Branco.
Really?
And Dunga in the midfield.
Jeez.
That's why Brazilians hated this team.
Yeah.
Mazinho.
Yeah.
Romario, Bebeto, Aldair, and Marco Silva. Marco Silva before. Cafu came on.
Yeah, cheese.
And
only meant to play in 3 World Cup finals.
And Viola came on.
Jesus.
Here's the Italian team.
Listen to this.
Pagliuca.
Yeah, Pagliuca.
Benarivo.
Yes.
Musi.
Yes.
Costa Curta.
Yes.
Baresi.
Yes.
Albertini.
Yes.
Donadoni.
Jesus.
Berti. Nicola Berti. Dino Baggio. Roberto Baggio. And Daniele Massaro.
Guys.
Apolloni and Ivani came on.
Donadoni and Baggio in one team.
I mean, both Badgers. There's exactly. 2 Badgers. It's inevitable. It was a draw, and then, of course, goes to penalties. And
first World Cup to go to penalties.
First World Cup to go to penalties.
World Cup final to go to penalties.
Exactly. I think we've had since then. I think
one, bro.
One. So was it 2002?
2022, man.
2020. Yeah.
It's the only one that went.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
So 2006 also went to penalties.
Did it?
Italy, France. It went to...
Yes, also went to penalties.
Trezeguet missed.
Yes, also went to penalties. And this was the sad thing, because Baggio, as much as you... Oh, man, I'm just looking at another player here. Julio Salinas from Spain.
Tell us, boy.
Remember that dude?
Tell us, man.
Oh, man. Chapuisa from Switzerland.
Chapuisa!
Jeez. I mean, come on.
I used to play with him in TV games.
Hugo Sanchez
from Mexico.
From Mexico.
And Real Madrid.
I mean... Jorge Campos was the goalkeeper.
Come
on. You want to talk 90s? You want to talk 90s?
Guys, do you know what Campos is doing now? The kids would love it right now.
Oh, they would love it. I mean, he's like the days. Keepers didn't play with their feet then.
Yeah.
Campos was a striker. He when he was playing in Mexico, in games against easier teams and cup games, he'd play up front.
Yeah.
He was a short little goalkeeper.
Most colourful
Designed
kits.
his own kits. He was a surfer.
Yeah.
So he designed it all like surf style,
so
colourful
sick,
shit. And he was just fucking bonkers.
He was vibes, bro.
He never wanted the ball. Like if the ball was passed back to him, where he could catch, he'd chest it down and take it on his feet.
Yeah.
He'd dribble players out the box. I mean, again, so you got Campos, you got Higuita, you got like Claudio Taffarel. Like every team was full of characters.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, so Brazil win the World Cup, of course, ending the curse after not winning for 24 years. Dunga lifts it. They dedicated the World Cup to Ayrton Senna, who had passed away 2 months before.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton in the photos with Dunga.
It was vibes, man.
What was funny about
Didn't
that?
Diana Ross miss a penalty
In the opening ceremony,
God.
So what they did is they set up Diana Ross is singing up front, and they set up this big goal for her to now score a penalty. And it's like this goal is like 30 meters wide, and she still hits it wide. Even they try to like run with the goals to get it.
Like, damn it, it's vibes.
But that was the whole thing about the World Cup.
Do you think Michael Jackson was busy?
Oh, listen, who knows? There was a lot of celebrity. I remember seeing Schwarzenegger in the stands.
I mean, the governor, man.
It was just like one of the, it was like that's.
You probably felt he was in Europe now. Finally.
No, Austria didn't qualify, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it was that like World Cup where celebrities started mixing with sport. It was my first World Cup. It is in the goat farm. I hope that. You said you missed out on it, but I hope you're now encouraged to go watch.
I think I might go home and go.
You know, FIFA do the movies on the World Cups.
I think I'll go do that. Also, there's YouTube. YouTube has
it's on there. It's on there. So either watch all the goals, but watch the FIFA movie of the FIFA of the World Cup.
Do you know? Funny enough, for me, the most boring World Cup was 2002. 2002 was boring. Alex.
It was an odd World Cup.
It was strange.
I think, there was just like the games were in the morning.
And especially when like Beckmania, like it was the height of Beckmania. And then when they lost to Brazil, I was like, actually, damn this World Cup. I was like, damn this whole World Cup. Because also France were garbage.
Do you think Ronaldinho meant that goal? To this day, he says he meant it, but.
Flock is whatever.
And I'll leave the last word with the top scorer of the World Cup. Still holds the record. Oleg Selenko, only man to score 5 goals in a World Cup match. Still to this day.
No, didn't closer. Didn't he hit Saudi Arabia for 5? No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He didn't hit
Oleg
Saudi Arabia.
Selenko still holds the record, and he's the only person to have won the Golden Boot for the World Cup. He shared it with Stoichkov for a player who didn't get out the groups.
Jeez, that sucks.
Oh man, the kits. Russia had a Reebok kit with the Reebok
I've
badge.
seen it.
It was just, I don't know. It was that first wave of the Adidas kits with the 3 stripes coming up either side.
Germany had a pretty iconic.
Germany had
an iconic kit, but they couldn't finish the sentence.
There was just, it was
Klinsmann wasn't Klinsmanning.
So many reasons to have loved this World Cup. It was my first, and it is in the goat farm.
No,
welcome. Good. I enjoy that. You got.
Do you think Badger sits there like, you know that guy in Forrest Gump? The guy that is angry at Forrest because Forrest didn't let him die? Yeah. Do you think Badger sits there in his house and he's like, I could have had it all. I could have been the guy.
Do you know?
He could have been Messi before Messi.
You know, man, it was one of those World Cups. I mean, Baggio played for AC Milan, Juventus,
and Inter.
And Fiorentina. Yeah. And if you know how much Juventus and Fiorentina hate each other.
Yeah.
It was one of those World Cups where nobody deserved to lose and everyone deserved to win. Because you go, Romario and Mbappé totally deserved to win that World Cup, but so did Baggio.
Yeah.
As a team, as much as I read out those names, there's some nice names there, Brazil just were a better team. Yeah. Italy were dragged. And listen, what was also great is Italy, Baggio shaped every game he was in right through the tournament, but he wasn't the only one. There were so many players that every game they were in, they bent the whole tournament to their will.
Yeah, true.
Thomas Brolin, Stoichkov, Hadji, Romario, Bebeto, Baggio, they just win. Amunike when they played a game, it's like, no, we're playing this whole tournament on my rules. And that's what made it fantastic. You got a non-football story of the week?
Man. Yeah.
Coming. Let's just do the stab. Every week, Senzo brings us a story, non-football story.
So today's the D-Day for the SA Rugby equity deal, and it's been much spoken about. But yeah, they say a letter published by the 8 unions, including Vodacom, Bulls, Sharks, Lions, and Griquas, declared their intent to reject the $1.3 billion deal, citing concerns over transparency and governance and economic feasibility. So given the deal, which offers ASG, the group that wants to buy a stake in Saru's commercial arm, requires a 75% majority, but it seems unlikely to pass. I don't know why we're still here with this. Do you think SA Rugby are that strapped for cash that they?
I was reading something the other day from a guy who was a consultant for the English Rugby Union.
Yeah.
And the English Rugby Union is the richest rugby union in the world, right?
Yeah.
Even he was saying that, so he was talking about the equity deal that the English got involved in, that New Zealand involved in, and he's mentioned South Africa busy negotiating as well.
Yeah.
He goes, as it currently stands, World Rugby cannot carry on running as it is. Even the biggest federation, which is England, will be bankrupt, shut down within 10 years, as it currently is. So, I mean, they have to
English
do
clubs are going into administration left, right, and center.
I think he said only 2 English clubs are profitable, or actually break even. So, why doesn't rugby generate more money? That's what blows my mind. Stadiums are full. You got a good TV product.
You mean to what extent, though?
Why is rugby in this situation? Is it too niche a sport?
I think it's too niche.
It's played by rich countries.
I think it's too niche, and I don't think it's for the everyday person. Because also, I know a lot of black people. They're like, okay, when they watch rugby, they're like, these folks are hurting each other. This doesn't look like it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also. I mean, also with our country, rugby is associated with.
Yeah.
It's got a stigma. But
not a stigma. I mean,
it's not a stigma, but
the Springboks was an apartheid propaganda.
It was an apartheid propaganda, but I don't know why rugby is. Maybe people feel like it's too elitist.
I mean, that is a point because, so obviously if we reference South Africa, when Springboks play, every bar is full, every restaurant's full, people are entertaining. In business, I used to have a bottle store. Yeah. You loved Springbok games.
Yeah, of course.
Bottle stores and butchers, you love it.
Yeah, because
but of course, it's only a certain section of the population.
Yeah.
In South Africa, you're probably looking at less than 10% of people actually gave a shit.
Yeah.
So, and then I suppose that extrapolates across the world because in England it's the same thing where rugby is the upper class sport, versus football, which is a lot more, although football's changing, they're pricing people out, but it's just weird. It just blows my mind that it doesn't generate more money, but I suppose that is it. There's only a limit of what you can ask.
It's elitist. It's, if you think about it, bro, it's...
So what do you think they're playing at you? Do you think they're trying to get renegotiation?
I think they're trying to squeeze them for more.
Or you think they're trying to get other people, try to smoke other people out? A rival bid, rival offer?
Apparently, Johan Rupert and Motsepe, they offered something, but they said, no, to hell with that. Saru said, nah, to hell with that. I was like, bro, if they...
That's bizarre.
I was like, bro, if there are any 2 people that you want to jump on board, it's those 2 guys. Right. It's those 2 guys. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
The whole thing does seem inevitable. I mean, do we go to the Saudis? When do Saudis get involved in rugby?
Apparently, there's a deal that Live Rugby is coming, and apparently top guys have agreed to it.
Yeah, I heard that.
But if you're a top guy, do you go to? I'd go to Live Rugby.
You see, and you know why?
At the end of the day, it's a job, guys.
You know why? There's no smoke without fire, and you know this better. So, only players who play in New Zealand can play for All Blacks, right? You can't play.
Yeah.
But didn't the coach? Haven't they just requested to change that?
Yeah, because Scott Robinson's asking badly, bro.
Which kind of and South Africa, it's obviously doesn't apply. And
because they saw the way the Springboks have done things, and they're like, bro, we're falling behind because now we can't pick a certain guy because he plays here, and they're like, nah, bro, South Africa if you're South African and you're playing well,
But
come through.
Look, a Live Rugby doesn't solve the problem that Saru and all the, kind of like unions
Exactly.
around the world are in, because you got to figure out some way of how you can like take it on tour.
Yeah.
Like, does Live Rugby move around the world?
And the thing is with Live Rugby, they're probably going to tell people, damn your national teams. They'll probably put that clause in, like, damn your national teams, if you're in, you're in.
Yeah, which, I mean, obviously will be a killer for it. It's inevitable, right? So I think, probably just trying to negotiate, get a better deal. Because there's got to be a number that they're after. This isn't like, it's a principle thing on morals.
Because now, what's the number? It's $35 million, which is $1.3 billion. Yeah. And, Paulo, we've discussed this ad nauseum. If you are sorry, and these guys say they want 20% of your commercial rights as a Springboks, right? What's your number? What are you saying? How much are you holding out for?
As a percentage?
Not as a percentage, as a rand figure.
So currently they're offering 35 million
US. Which is 1.3 billion.
So let's compare it to US sports, right? What does a kind of mid-level quarterback earn in the NFL?
Per season, mid-level, I'd say probably about 10 to 20 million.
Okay.
Dollars.
That's one player in one sport, in one team.
So guys, he's not like the top guy. He's not Patrick Mahomes.
What would Patrick Mahomes earn?
Patrick Mahomes recently signed a deal for 10 years or 9 years or 8 years, for 534 million US.
Okay. So that's the other extreme. But if you're going, listen, guys, don't fuck around here. I mean, if you're playing one quarterback in a mid-level team, what's kind of in the ballpark of what you're offering us as a entire sport in a country? I don't know, you probably don't give a shit about South Africa, but come the next time we talk, that offer better at least be double before we
70 million
before we take the meeting. At least.
Yeah.
Where's 1.3 billion going to get you?
Rand, exactly. And also I'm thinking about what these guys are thinking of doing with it, because, bro, once they take it to the States, do you know how much money that thing is going to make for them?
Well, the thing is, there's a problem. It's like there is no appetite for rugby in the States.
Yeah, because they've probably got a thing called NFL, and
which soccer battles to break through in the States.
It's difficult, for them.
Soccer, they've been trying for 30 years. They've hardly broken it through. They get here and there.
No, but
they're not doing it with rugby. Fuck.
Yeah, bro.
They're not doing it.
I don't know.
Because the Rugby World Cup after next is in the US, isn't it?
It should be. Yeah, it should be.
I think so.
America didn't make the last Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, no, so I think because the next one's in Australia, the one after that's in the US, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, man.
And they're not going to generate. I mean, it's not going to be a money spinner. I mean, most of the US wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like there was a Cricket World Cup in the US and they barely batted an eyelid.
Yeah, exactly.
They barely batted an eyelid, but
could host a Rugby World Cup in Las Vegas.
Yeah, honestly. No. But what do you think? What do you think it is with the? What do you think? What do you think is, because rugby on paper it has everything that the Yanks like.
I know.
It's got violence.
It's not theirs though.
Right.
You know what? It's not.
Yeah, it's not because
it's not theirs.
It's not theirs. I don't know.
And then you even look at the thing of because obviously sports come with immigration. So, even if you look at kind of like the immigration into the US, it's football fans going in. It's people who are brought up on football, not brought up on rugby.
Yeah.
You're not having like this influx of,
I
don't even know. Maybe that's the problem. It's like in every country, rugby's in Australia, what did we say during the World Cup? I think it's like the 5th or 6th most played sport.
Yeah.
In Australia.
Yeah, in Australia, bro.
In
Australia.
I was like, wow.
Do you think it's only... I think it's only...
It was below ballet.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's only us in New Zealand that are like really rugby mad. Like we're...
And we're only rugby mad because of success.
Exactly.
Let's be very honest here. Once Springboks revert to the norm, because rugby is cyclical, a lot of fair weather fans, and I dare say myself, could be included.
Yeah.
But you go, I watch Springbok games because we're good. And I'm not the only one.
I mean, bro. I mean, you know, with the Springbok game, you're not wasting your time. You know what time it is. Even if we play the All Blacks, you know what time it is.
That's the thing now. And you wonder how many people will stay when You do go through that
when
period
we
because that's
got through
sport.
the Rudolph Australia era again. Oh, boy, Camp Stalder. It was tough then.
I wasn't round for that. I'll tell you, I wasn't watching for that.
When we were fetching 50 at Twickenham, it was very humbling.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't hanging around
when
for
Johnny
that.
Wilkinson was making his name using us, it was very humbling.
That's it. So that's the nature of it, I suppose.
Man, but
listen, you don't want to sell your soul, but you also don't want to risk sinking the whole thing. If any time you're in a position of power to negotiate, as Saru
it's right now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, also, you have to think about bro, some people, this is how they earn their living, and they're people to be paid. So I don't know, man. But yeah, it is the day for that, and
let's see. We'll catch up on it.
We'll see next week. We'll see next week.
It's just listen, Gears and Springbok SIM cards are only going to get you so far.
Yeah, man.
It's time to take in the money. Listen, this has been Working Title FC. Thank you for listening. If you want to share it to somebody and they don't know how to do podcasts, tell them to go to website iol.co.za and search Working Title FC.
And
there's an easy way to listen to it there.
Paul, I'm still fascinated by that book, man. Mint condition.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's even by Ladybird. Oh my God, the Ladybird publishers. This is the real deal, guys.
Senzo's going to do some reading. Working Title FC Sports.